Today I'm going to show you how to make cornbread dressing. First, you're going to need your cornbread, and you'll need to decide if you want sweet or unsweetened cornbread. We're going to make this from scratch, okay? You'll also need your meat and your broth. I'm using boneless, skinless, breast and thigh. You can use turkey if you want, or you can use chicken. It's really up to you what type of meat you want. Make sure that you are using Pepperidge Farm herb seasoned classic stuffing mix. I'm sorry I got so loud, but I have to, got to put emphasis on classic. Do not get cubed. I got cubed and it was very hard to break up, My grocery store only had cubed. They didn't have classic. Classic will already be broken up for you, and that is what you should use. And here are the other ingredients. As always, I will leave the measurements written out in the description of the video. Make sure that you have cleaned your vegetables. Make sure you have cleaned your chicken, and you can rough chop those vegetables, and you'll need to season your meat. I'm using seasonal and black pepper. If you do not like seasonal, you can season your meat however you normally would season your meat to make it taste really good. Season it all over and rub the seasoning into the meat. So I'm adding in a small amount of chicken broth, and I'm going to also add some rosemary and thyme. I roasted this for 1 hour in a 375-degree oven. After your meat is done, you want to strain off that chicken broth, and you'll need to shred your meat. So you'll do this step. If you're using turkey, you'll do the same thing that I'm showing you here. Now for the cornbread. Remember I said you need to decide if you want to use sweet cornbread or unsweetened cornbread. That is your choice. Okay, that's the decision that you have to make here. Now you're going to add all of your dry ingredients together, mix them well to combine. Then you're going to add the eggs, the milk, and the butter and mix them up. Make sure that your butter is melted and at room temperature, not, piping hot. And now you're going to add your cornbread mixture to your casserole dish or skillet. Make sure that you butter your skillet or spray cooking spray onto it. We're going to bake this for up to an hour in a 425-degree oven. If you want, you can use the vegetables from your meat, but I'm going to use just some fresh vegetables, okay? You can chop your vegetables down to whatever size you like. If you go super big on the veggies, then just keep in mind you'll have super big veggies in your dressing, okay? We're going to saute these to soften them, okay? So if you want to skip this step, you can do that, but keep in mind that you can add raw vegetables to your dressing. They might cook, they might not cook, but to be on the safe side, I like to saute mine, soften them up. That way I know that they'll be soft when I bite into my dressing, okay? So this is optional, but highly recommended. So if you don't want to saute your vegetables, another option would be to chop them down very, very fine, or you can use a food processor. Add a tablespoon of unsalted butter to your skillet on medium-high heat. Drop in your vegetables, and you're only going to cook these until the onions begin to become translucent. Add the garlic last, because garlic will what? It will burn. Okay, so it doesn't take long to cook. Then you're going to let your vegetables cool off. Once your cornbread has completely cooled down, now you can begin to break it apart, crumble it up, break all of the cornbread up. You're going to add your stuffing mix. Remember to use classic, because classic will already be broken up for you. You can add your vegetables, make sure they have completely cooled down, and now you're going to mix everything well to combine. Add your broth that you strained from your meat. Add that to your cornbread mixture. So for this recipe, you'll also need some store-bought chicken broth. And this is like just a backup plan just in case you don't have enough broth from your meat. This is 32 ounces of Swanson chicken broth. I divided this in half. Okay, I'm going to season half of this with a half teaspoon of chicken bouillon. Before you season your chicken broth, which I do recommend that you do before you do it, make sure that you taste it first. You're going to add in some chicken bouillon to kick up the flavor in that chicken broth. Sometimes the stuff that you buy in the grocery stores can be a little bland-ish, so we want that chicken broth to be very flavorful, so do that. So you're going to gradually add in your chicken broth. You're not going to pour it all into your dressing at once. You need to add in a little at a time. So I'm going to take a break from adding in the chicken broth, and I've just added in some cream of chicken. I almost forgot the name of this. You're going to add in 1 whole can of cream of chicken. If you have never tried cream of chicken or cream of celery, make sure that you taste both of these ingredients before you add them into your dressing. I need you to approve of these ingredients before you make it. Okay, I'm not trying to mess up nobody's Thanksgiving. Nobody's. Okay, these are really good, I will tell you that much, but make sure that you try it first before you add it to the dressing. We are building the flavor of our dressing, and we are slowly incorporating the chicken broth into the dressing to get it to the texture that we want. You want it to have the texture of loose oatmeal or loose hot grits. You know how hot grits are before they stiffen up. That's how you want them to be, like creamy grits, similar to that. I'm using poultry seasoning, sage, and black pepper to season the dressing. When you season yours, you should season this to your taste. You might want more poultry seasoning. You might want more sage. So it's really up to you how much of the seasonings to use. So I'm adding in more sauteed vegetables, and I'm adding in more chicken broth. So here I will show you, this is the consistency that you want. So once you fully approve of your dressing, now is when you can add your unsalted butter. This will add flavor as well as moisture to your dressing. Okay, so make sure that butter is very soft. I'm using 2 eggs, 2 lightly beaten eggs in my dressing. This is the binder that will hold the dressing together. So mix that in very well. So go get that protein, go get that meat. Okay, if you're using turkey, add the turkey. If you're using chicken, add the chicken. If you're using gizzards, add the gizzards. Just put the meat in there and mix it up. Butter your casserole dish and then add your dressing. Make sure that your oven is preheated. Pour the dressing in there. Get a spoon, even it out. I bake this for 45 minutes. Just be careful because dressing can dry very quickly if you over bake it, so try not to over bake it. And so I'm going to cut into this here, and also I did not cover my dressing with foil or anything like that. It went into the oven uncovered, and this is what it looks like. So this will set as you let it sit. Okay, the next day it will be more firm. The flavor of the dressing was phenomenal. It was very good. I hope that you will try this recipe. Comment below and I will catch you in my next video.